Seem like everybody nowadays Hollywood. Oh, it's like that now? I'ma show you how to act now. I'ma show 'em how to act. I'ma show you. I'ma show 'em how to act.
Picture me putting my city all over the map. They wasn't believers, I had to get even and mad. We coming up, pulling up, jumping all over your grass. So tell them I got a new girl. Tell them that I'm in the bank and I want all my 50s in cash. I'm tired of living check to check. I need 20 models, this is smiling in my grave, fresh to death. I've been Wu-Tang with a spectral deck. Yeah, I got that, I gotta just get off my chest. I cannot miss, I got lots on my list and you next. Take it how you want it, I ain't famous like I want it, but I think I might just skirt off. Blow the speakers and turn off. Pop up, go to church with my shirt off. Tell the Lord that I'm here now. I've been waiting for so long, I've been patient for so long. Breaking rules like there's no laws, and I did it for a long time. If you don't like me, take a ticket, there's a long line. Nice to meet me, I think the pleasure's all mine. They've been clocking me so long, I think they lost time. Ooh, you lost, what you mean? Woo! What you mean? Woo! And now I don't trust the so what you mean? Woo! Hold up, whoa, what you mean? Woo! Hold up now. Don't know what you think, compare me. Adrenaline popping, the blood'll be leaking and running. Yeah. I do what I do, I don't care if you like it or love it. Tell all of my I got a new girl. Wait. You tell the that I'm in the bank and I want all my money in hundreds. I'm tired of living on the edge. I want it, they gon' call the feds. I just bought a cost an arm and leg. My mama told me take it back and get a job instead. Where's your common sense? Me and the devil got too much in common, I swear. Yeah. Born in the ghetto, I never had nothing to fear. Take it how you want it, I ain't famous like I want it, so I might just throw a iffy fit. Call up Cassie after she broke up with Diddy, yeah. I told Shorty, if she talking, I ain't. And she gon' call her friends up and we did, whoa. I ain't in the talking, go chop off your lips. If I ain't in your top 10, go top off a bridge. My black boys, I boys that knock off your lid. I doubt y'all gon' pop off, so hop off my. What you mean? I said, what you mean? Woo! Listen, I don't trust her, so, no, I said, what you mean? Whoa, I said, what you mean? Woo! You thought I was finished, you thought it was over. You thought I retired, you thought I went fishing with Kobe. I'm still as ill as considered as one of the coldest. Still a put a partner rapper here like Moses. I'm throwback like a molar roller. I'm cooler than a cup of yogurt. Black flag boy, truck soldier. I'm cool with laws and ayatollahs. Rap gods like Cyclops and Ogre. I'm King Kong, ain't nobody told you. You think road still. And Bobby Brown about to go get. Paul McCartney, I'm rich. I'm Muhammad Ali, I talk. I'm James Brown, about to tear down this. I'm Michael Jackson, some bad gon' get. What you mean?
Always hating, said I'll never make it. I heard these always talking with them. It's so
okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm getting money. I heard he's mad at me cause he's on me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm shining. They ain't seen it when I'm young, out here grinding. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. Either way, young, getting paid, yeah. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm popping. They don't want to put some money in my pockets. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's gonna hate, yeah. Mad at me cause I'm trying to feed my I'm supposed to make it out and I don't bring my no way, no way, no way, yeah. They ones and they here to stay, yeah. I heard he's always hating, said I never make it. I heard he's always talking with them. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm getting money. I heard he's mad at me cause he's on me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah.
I heard he tryna lie me, but I ain't no dummy. It's okay, though, got it, you really want it. I spent 13 on the ring and now I feel unlucky. And she love my diamond ring, she said she wanna touch it. It's okay, I get 30K just to hit the stage. Hit my Michael, in my Michael J. I get cake, I cannot complain. Been finessing since I was a kid. In the second grade, selling lemonade. Get paid, hold up, wait, can I get paid? Yawn, in a break, feel like I'm in space. See a snake, kill a snake, get paid. Get left every day, so get your straight.
I heard he's always hating, said I never make it. I heard he's always talking with them. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm getting money. I heard he's mad at me cause he's on me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Mad cause I'm trying to feed my family. Why I gotta watch a friend more than an enemy? I had to stun on the that I'm supposed to stunt with. Had to cut you off, you was on some dun. You was supposed to be my dog, why you hate on me? They say success, turn your friends to some enemies. It's crazy, cause you shining, now you acting shady. Yeah, but I guess it's okay. My mama told me you would show me your ways. Yeah, but I gotta check with him. I had the bands, pull up in the land. Diamonds on me look like I heard he's always hating, said I never make it. I heard he's always talking with them. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm getting money. I heard he's mad at me cause he's on me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
I've been rolling on the freeway, I've been riding 85. I've been thinking way too much, and I'm way too.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders hope by the end of today's game they'll have secured win number 1 on the season. It's the Chiefs going up against the Raiders.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Bay Area as we welcome you to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Mahomes going to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Mahomes to throw on second down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience got wear thin really quick, and I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, add that play to his resume, Real, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Now Carr throwing on second down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Throwing his Carr on third down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Allen Bailey with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Setting up the screen for West. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4.
Here we go now.
Mahomes now to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Well, nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Raiders will take possession. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
2nd down following the run. Here's Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. On 3rd down, Carr dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet at the 46. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And on 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again. Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tambahali in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. That's something you see a whole lot of, a sack of Derek Carr, and due in large part to a good O-line. Carr was sacked on less than 3% of his dropbacks last year, lowest in the league.
Oakland knew it was important to take care of their quarterback. They picked up Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson in recent years, and it's paid.
And the pressure gets to him again. Allen Bailey in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. A spin. And now running right through it. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. They start on the ground with West. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off by the rookie from Ohio State, Garyon Conley. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Carr gives to Marshawn. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Completes it right side to Cooper. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. They set up the screen to Lynch. Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Ten yards still left on second down.
Here we go.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now here's Mahomes. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Kendrick West. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Kendrick West, 76 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Point after here coming up. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
They start the drive with Lynch. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
To throw, it's Carr, rolling to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Ramik Wilson from his outside linebacker spot. He gets him down here for a loss of 4. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr to throw. The open man is Smith. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. Toss play. This is Lynch. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Raiders on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Now a play fake. Carr rolling, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chris Jones in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. Here's Marquette King now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. 1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. So this is not the QB here. They're going to do a direct snap out of the Wildcat. Break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
It's West again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the Raiders have got him. Jihad Ward in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. Knocks him over. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. To throw on second down. Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. On target over the middle to Hill. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and goal. Defense digging in. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Charkandrick West in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are in for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Carr. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A Raiders first down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw on second down. Carr looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Detroit!
On second down, here's Mahomes. He's got the hook up with Conley. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Colquitt on the kick as he sends it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. To throw on second down. Carr. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. The Raiders on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Carr. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by David Anderson. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up second down.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
A 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Cook able to escape. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Jared Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Now Manuel. And his throw is incomplete.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that? What was that?
Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 50?
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Khalil Mack coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting to run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. The Chiefs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, it's Mahomes. being chased out left. And going deep for Hill. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by David Amerson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. He'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. Now Carr throwing on second down. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown. And frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Running for it. Here's Lynch. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Second down now after the pass completion. They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They run again on first down, Lynch. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Now Carr. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Justin Houston in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. They set up the screen to Lynch. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. The 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a KC touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
Well, it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out and following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Allen Bailey in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So he was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now here's Mahomes. Buying time to his left. He gets this down to the 3. Brought the power run out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. This offense so far on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. to throw. Mahomes. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And Boswell's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a KC touchdown. A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. To throw, it's called. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Now Carr. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Carr now on first down. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And they'll spike it here at 27 seconds. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Mahomes going to throw it here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eddie Vanderdoes in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And going deep for Hill. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Chiefs, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Oakland, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.